They were actually trying to get him to completely cash out, and it kind of made me really mad because I'm like, who's your lender? Because they're not giving you good advice. Hey guys, Jeff Brower here. I've got my trusty sidekick, Skipper, behind me. I'm out here at the Marblehead Lighthouse today. I had a friend last month get a hold of me. He was asking me advice about a home equity line of credit. He needed to pull some money out of his house. He had some credit card bills that he wanted to pay off with lower interest debt, which makes complete sense. So he had a couple options. He was either going to refinance his home. He had some equity built up in his home, so he wanted to harvest the equity and use that to pay off his credit card debt. So he was considering either doing a cash out refinance or a home equity line of credit or a home equity loan. And he asked for my opinion because he had a lender he was working with that was trying to get him to refinance the entire home, do a cash out refinance. Now his current interest rate was at 3.5%, and this lender was trying to get him to completely cash out refinance the entire house at an 8% interest rate. This was about 2 months ago when interest rates were hovering around 8%. They're about 6.5% now here at the end of January, beginning of February. But this lender was trying to get him to completely refinance the home, which would take all of the debt from 3.5% and convert it to 8%. He'd be paying a lot more on the debt. He'd be able to pull out some cash and pay off his credit cards, but this did not make sense. And I told him the thing that made the most sense for him in his case was to do a home equity line of credit. When you do a home equity line of credit, the bank will appraise your property and they will lend you the difference between what you owe and what the evaluation is. Usually they'll lend about 8 to 80% loan to value. So they'll give you that chunk of cash. But a home equity line of credit, it's like a credit card. It's like a revolving line. So you can actually leave it in there and not pay interest, or you can pull out what you need and pay interest on that. So that is actually the best option for him in this case. A home equity loan is strictly a predetermined amount that you take out and you're paying interest on that. But a line of credit, if you don't need the funds, you can actually leave them in there and not pay interest, but you can pull them out when you need. So in this case, it made more sense for him to pull a home equity line of credit and only pay that higher interest rate on that little amount that he was pulling out. A home equity line of credit always has a floating interest rate, so it's an adjustable rate. Now you're going to pay probably right now around 8-9% for a home equity line of credit, but this made a lot more sense for him in his case because he was only pulling out a small amount, but the amount that he owed on the property, on the house, that big amount that was the original mortgage, that still stays at 3.5%. So he's actually paying a lot less by just taking what he needed in a home equity line of credit to pay off those credit cards. And this lender, I'm actually kind of mad about this because this lender was trying to get him to completely cash out refinance, and the entire thing would be at 8%, like I said, when he was doing this a couple months back. And lenders make money when you cash out refinance. When they're doing a complete new mortgage, they make a lot more money than if you're just doing a HELOC or a home equity loan. So it's actually, he was given bad advice. They were actually trying to get him to completely cash out, and it kind of made me really mad because I'm like, who's your lender? Because they're not giving you good advice. They're not putting your best interest first. They are actually trying to get you to refinance, but just because they made more money. So in any case, if you guys are in the situation where you want to harvest some equity out of your home, if you have equity and you need to pull that out, if you have a good interest rate and you don't want to disturb that and completely refinance, the best thing to do would be to pull a home equity line of credit. And you can actually, apply for that and get it granted. You don't have to pull a thing out. You can actually leave it at zero and you're not paying any money in interest. But if you have an emergency situation, or like in his case, my buddy's name is Jason. Hey, Jason. If you need to pull that money out and you want to pay off some higher interest debt, such as credit cards, it makes complete sense to pull out money at a lower rate when you can pay off higher rate debt. A home equity line of credit is the way to go in this situation. So if you guys have any questions about something like this, feel free to shoot me a message or give me a call. Now, I'm not a CPA, but I do have a lot of experience with this stuff when doing analysis, rental property calculations. If you need help with something like that and you want somebody's opinion, a third party, to give you an opinion on what to do, then I'd be more than happy to answer a question for you. You know, I don't obviously have a leg in the game or anything. I'm not making money on when people borrow, or, you know, I'm not affiliated with any banks or lenders. So I'm going to give you guys my honest opinion at all times, and that's my honest opinion in this case. If you have any unique situations like that, you want my opinion, feel free to give me a call or a message. And I have to show this. My lovely girlfriend Kayla gave me this lighthouse tie for Christmas, so I knew I'd be coming out here today to the Marblehead Lighthouse, and so I wanted to wear this. My dad actually used to live in this house right here. If you haven't seen the video that I put out last month, check out my YouTube or my Facebook. I posted a 30-minute video with an interview that I actually recorded with my dad out here about his time living in the Marblehead Lightkeeper's house back in the late 70s. So I hope you guys got a little bit of value out of this. Like I said, shoot me some questions. And if you want to see more of Skipper, please let me know too. We'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye.